had an idea this month for various different blog posts. We did really good at planning out our content this month and trying to get way more consistent and giving you guys something new every single day. And I think we've succeeded.
I think we've done pretty good.
One of our ideas was to film a video at the end of the month that is basically a monthly update. What we did this month separately and not necessarily as a blog because you already know what that's happening. But anyway, just a monthly update kind of thing. And then we decided that sometimes things in your life are too much for you to handle on your own, and you need somebody with an outside perspective to come in and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. And so we decided, since we were going to be doing that anyways, why not film it for you guys in case some of you are having similar issues. And it's just going to be a simple conversation between us about various points, and we're going to flip-flop back and forth each month. So this month, Kelly's going to help me with some of my issues. Next month, we're going to talk about some of Kelly's issues, and we'll just go from there. So first, the monthly update.
Woo, 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 woo.
So what'd you do for the month of February?
Well, I've been busy getting into my first new house. My first house. We're homeowners.
It's so pretty.
So, yeah, my month has been painting, sanding, building, doing that kind of stuff, buying things, just making the house feel like home. That's been my month in a nutshell, and it's been cool. It's been a very different experience because, I mean, me and my husband have been renting for, feels like forever, and you have restrictions with stuff you can do, and now it just feels like the chain has been cut and we can do whatever we want. So it's been very interesting and kind of nerve-wracking at the same time, because then it sits in and you're like, shoot, I own a house. But I mean, it's a great house, and I might post pictures on the blog at some point when things like maybe before and after shots, because the kitchen's awesome. Whoever lived there before had done really cool detail work on the ceiling, and the cabinets were a little faded, so we went in and did them white. And I had a before and after picture on Instagram, I believe it was, so I might do a blog post later on with some updated stuff, because I'm real big into like home decor and redecorating, that kind of thing. So maybe I'll do a post on that if you guys are interested. Let me know if that's what you'd want to see. But that's been my month pretty much, just getting settled and getting things in order.
My month has only one new thing, and it is the fact that I got a newborn puppy. I rescued a newborn puppy. I had no intentions of getting another dog because I have one already, and not only that, but my sister has a dog that, a long time ago, we kind of talked about me taking her dog too, because she also has another dog, and long story, but anyway, so I have for sure at least one more dog. I might have a second dog, and so I really didn't need a third dog, but, my boyfriend and I went to the Spurs Chicago Bulls game at the last week of January, and in San Antonio, and we went to a gas station, and somebody had abandoned a shoebox full of 4 puppies at the gas station, and they were a day old. They didn't have anything to keep them warm. They didn't have any food, anything like that, and we simply just couldn't leave them there. So we actually took 2 of them, and the idea was my boyfriend's going to keep one, I was going to keep one, and we started raising them, and about a week into it, my boyfriend's dog got really sick, and we went to the vet, and you saw I posted a blog post on the story. We did extreme measures to try and save this dog, and he ended up passing away. But my dog is still around. He is 3 weeks old. No, he's a month old. Sorry. He's a month old at this point, because he was a day old on January 29th. He was a day old, so he's a month old at this point. And anyway, he's doing really well. He's super healthy. We're to the point where we can start house training him and start weaning him off of bottle food and getting him onto regular thing. And we're sleeping through the night now. And so anyway, it's great, but it's been quite an experience. And that's pretty much been my month in a nutshell. As far as adventures, you may have noticed that the blog has been quiet in terms of our adventure list so far, because we haven't really planned anything. And now that I have a puppy, it's really hard. And also, what we're going to get to later when Kelly's helping me fix my life, I'm having some financial issues at the moment, so it's really difficult for me to go do things that we did before, like wake surfing and, well, not wake surfing, but the zip lining and the trapeze and the things like that. Even though we did on Groupon, it still costs money. So, but tonight, we're also going to sort of plan out our month of January in terms of content for you guys, and I'm sure we'll plan out some adventures too, because we need to get back to doing adventures.
Yeah.
So we'll try and keep updated with that.
She means March, not January.
Did I say January?
Yeah. Is that my water over there or yours?
Yeah, no, it's yours.
I need a drink. I'm parched.
Anyways, so yeah, that's our monthly update. If you have any suggestions for what you want to see in March, not January, let us know. We're happy to take suggestions. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we might do some hikes and that kind of thing. Things that are free
Hiking
or
will be
close
good.
to free.
Oh, so I found this website that's a whole bunch of free stuff, and there's apparently at the Galleria, which is this outdoor like shopping mall here, there's a wine tasting, and it's free. And you walk around to the different stores, and each store has a different wine tasting set in it.
Yeah.
And so we're probably going to do that. Are my lips purple from the wine? They look purple, right? Are my teeth purple?
No.
Maybe it's just the lighting. It looks... my teeth don't... But do you see, like, on the camera, it looks purple.
Yeah, it's lipstick.
Anyways, so there's that, and there's some free stuff. Oh, that's the other thing.
The yoga thing.
Yeah, there's the Blanton Museum is the University of Texas Art Museum, and they have the third Thursday of every month is free admission, and they have yoga in the exhibition rooms, so you can do yoga surrounded by these like Renaissance paintings and sculptures and all this stuff. It's like so cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
And we're also going to do a lot of networking events this week,
we're doing business stuff.
Yeah, we're in similar businesses. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but we both own our own business. Kelly and her husband do web hosting and
developing open source, FreeBSD, that kind of thing.
It's a lot of stuff. I don't know everything that they do, so
we'll do a video on that.
Check it out. Yeah,
we can do a video on that.
And then I own a creative service agency, so graphic design, advertising, marketing, that kind of thing. So because we're in similar industries, we decided to go to networking events together, and we can say, hey, I'm a web designer, and P.S. she's a web hoster. Yay!
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But for any of the Tone It Up girls, especially those in Austin, we had signed up to do the Blacklight Run again. This will be our second time doing it.
That's in June, right?
Yeah, I believe it's in June. And there is a team going. I believe it's just called Tone It Up Austin. And if you are, on Tone It Up and you are in Austin, feel free to join that and join our team and run it with us. We have a video on the blog of us doing it last time if you want to check it out. And this time we're going to have 2 GoPros going, so it'll be extra fun. So there's that. And now we have like ways to hold like the accessories. We don't have to hold it with our hand anymore. Yeah. So like we'll have it like strapped on our head, or like I've got the wrist strap, and I'm sure by then I'm gonna have the pole that we can like hold up and see it. So awesome. I might get a pole for that.
Awesome stuff.
Be good to have. But yeah, let us know if you guys want to see anything in particular or know of anything that we should check out, especially in the Austin area. I don't know how many of you that are from here that actually watch this, but let us know what cool stuff is happening.
Totally. Okay, so moving on to fixing my life. My biggest problem right now is finances. I spoke of it earlier. Basically, my business... because I own my own business, I don't get a paycheck every 2 weeks. It's kind of like whenever business comes in. And we had been doing really, really well. And then, we had, killer months. There was one month prior to the months I'm about to talk about that just that month we brought in more income than we had the entire year before. So like it was a really great month for us. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. We're scaling. This is where we need to be, right? And then starting really like November kind of started seeing it, but it was really December, January, and February. It was so slow. And it's always slow for January because people usually, like holiday promotions are done in October, so nobody's really doing stuff for holidays from a design standpoint. And everybody's reviewing their budgets moving into the new year, and then everyone's on holidays too. So it usually happens to where it's incredibly slow, through December and January, right? Unfortunately, end of January and February have also been slow for me. It's starting to pick back up in February, but it's really slow. And so full transparency here, like what ended up happening is that I have used all of my savings to pay my bills and pay vendors and things that need to get paid for the business. We used all the business capital, and my credit cards. I have 4 different credit cards. They're all pretty much maxed out. I think I have $50 on one card left, and that's it. So I'm in a really, really overwhelming, frustrating situation, which is how we came up with this idea of like, hey, like let's just talk it out, and figure out what you can do, right? And I started brainstorming on my own, which I've already told Kelly about, but to update you guys, I'm talking about developing different products and things that I can sell through my business that doesn't require, hours of like, so I'm going to get paid for 1 hour that I do your website or, whatever. So passive income. And hopefully that will help offset some of the cash flow problems that we're having. And then I have time to go out and market the services side of the business to clients that are going to need my help for design. But you have to develop those products. And those products, if you want them to be good quality products, they take months to develop. And so it's not a quick fix solution.
Yeah.
Which is why we also said, okay, we're going to start doing more networking events so that we can try and get more like immediate cash flow coming in. And like I said, I've seen some clients come in. We just got a big client here in Austin. It's a bar, Mr. Tramp's Bar and Grill. That's a pretty big client for us because bars notoriously have the worst websites ever. I don't know why. They just think that they don't need websites. I don't know what it is, but they have god-awful looking websites. So the fact that we now have a bar that's willing to hire us to do their website the way we want it done, that gives us hopefully a door into the other bars in Austin that need stuff like that. Mr. Tramps also has a sister bar called Mr. Tramps in Italy. And so my thought is, after we do this website, I'm going to go contact the one in Italy and say, here, we just did your Mr. Tramps sister bar. How about you let us do yours? And, go from there. But that doesn't help me very much with the how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to get the cash flow coming in? And that's where I'm really struggling right now because I no longer have savings as a cushion to fall back on. So, fix me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to do is just when so much is going on and you don't know where to start, that's basically what happens. You end up like in the mud and your wheels are just spinning. So I think it's best to just sit down for a minute and take a breath and get organized. That's first. Figure out what is top priority and what is not so much. Because at the moment, when you are really stressed and there's a lot that you need to take care of and there's a lot of things that are pressing, that everything seems top priority. Mm-hmm. So it's a good idea to really, get an idea on what would actually benefit you first and foremost and work on that and then trickle down from there.
Yeah. I think, Kelly kind of told me that idea a couple of days ago, and I started doing it, and it definitely has made me feel more productive because I do feel like, okay, now I know specifically what actions I need to take that I know will ultimately make me money. But it still sometimes comes down to, like you said, when everything's everything becomes a priority because you just are having to focus on so many things. And the lack of finances is not just hurting me business-wise or bill-wise. Like I can't work out because I feel like every spare moment has to go towards my business and making money. I don't feel like I can buy healthy food because I need to go to the dollar menu at McDonald's so that I can get a burger for $1 instead of an organic piece of chicken for $6, you know?
Yeah.
And so it makes why it's relevant to the blog is it makes it very difficult to continue the healthy lifestyle that you want to do, because any moment that you take away from your business, you feel almost guilty. It's like, I know I shouldn't be working out. I should be making money. I should be developing these products I'm talking about. I should be, doing whatever.
Yeah. And I think, once you get the revenue coming back in and everything, you can go back into the groove of planning your meals and having that, figured out. But when you're at the moment where you're like, how am I going to pay rent and how am I going to, pay to keep my lights on? I really think that, as far as much that I believe that working out is like just so important in taking care of your health, you need to make sure that you have a roof over your head, you have food in your fridge, and, you have power, and water and all of that stuff. You got to have the basics to be able to survive, and then you go into buying the best quality this and that and food and exercise and all that. But I do think that, at the most you can very much, go take a walk for your morning coffee or something like that. If you're worried about, making exercise a priority, just go take a walk. But because it's good for you. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. It's good for a lot of things. But I don't think you should lose sleep over it. I don't think that it should impact your life. You need to, get the foundation of your life figured out first. If there's any underlying issues that have you upset and are keeping you awake at night, you got to be happy on the inside before you can start working on the outside. I feel like your foundation is the very most important thing. Your home life, your work life, and your relationships that you have on a daily basis. And that when that is figured out, I think that is when taking care of yourself comes naturally. It's not so much of a burden. It's not so much of something that you're taking, time away from to do this. It's something that fits in, but your foundation definitely has to be stable and in place before you can add other things, I think.
What if, and I don't think that there is one like this, and so maybe we should start it, but like I wish that they did networking events, for example, that were like walk and talk. So like you're networking, but you're walking, like during lunch break or something, to where like you're still doing business, but you're getting to exercise at the same time you're doing business.
Yeah, because people go to like the Starbucks down the road and have their laptops out and they're on their phones, But if that's not a thing, we need to make it a thing.
Yeah,
we called it. We called it.
Yeah, dibs.
Walk and talk. My husband, for instance, whenever he's on the phone with a client, he's never sitting down. He is always on the phone pacing around. Like, he never sits still.
That's the other thing that it takes some money to get started like that, so I can't do it. But I have seen people talk about, they elevate their desks and they put it on top of a treadmill so that you're walking while you're working.
Wow.
And because supposedly standing up for longer periods of time is healthier for you than sitting down for longer periods of time. So it started with people just raising their desk to where they were standing up while they were working instead of sitting down. But then somebody came up with the bright idea of like, I'll just put my desk on top of the treadmill and I'll just sit there working while it's a very slow walk. It's not like you're running, right? But you're walking at like 2 miles an hour and you're walking and working at the same time. And then it's like you're getting your exercise in, but you're not taking time away from working. But it takes money to start it because, one, I would have to buy the materials to elevate my desk, but then, two, I'd have to buy a treadmill, you know? And obviously I can't do that. But the treadmills at my gym are not equipped to, like, sit my laptop on top of. Yeah. So, like, I can't do that either. So I don't know, but if there was, like, I don't know. If there's something like that that I could do, I could see it being very beneficial.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
I'd
I'd do it. I would love to walk and talk. It's one of my favorite things.
Seriously. And like, I mean, you could even pair up like, you know, because usually you can't walk with more than like 3 people without it being like the person on the end is like, what? Hey, what'd you say? You know.
Yeah.
So you could pair it up based on who goes and match them by industry and just say like, you know, you could say I want to meet somebody in this industry or this would be a really good referral for me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then those 3 people are all relevant to each other. So they're walking and talking, but it's not like, okay, you guys aren't working for me, so I'm going to go to another group. It's like you're matched with people that are relevant to you that you want to meet.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
We should totally do that.
Yeah, but I think the important part of this is, you know, things can get out of control really quickly when your life isn't balanced.
Yes.
And I think that finding that balance, you know what it is. You know what your balance is. And when you get back to that, things just start falling into place. And it might take time, but it will. And you just got to work at it. You know, set your goals, figure out what your priorities are, and just work at it. And, you know, while fitness and nutrition might take a back burner, don't put it so far back that you're falling behind in it. Just don't add more stress to your life with obsessing and worrying about that part. I mean, get a walk in. I mean, you're going to take a break at some point in your day anyway when you're doing work. Go take a walk, get outside, do something, and just pick healthier, cheaper options. Even if it's like, man, I just had breakfast, lunch isn't for a while, grab a friggin' apple. You know what I mean? Just don't get sucked into the whole idea like it is expensive to eat healthy. Do what you can, but don't beat yourself up if you can't do it every moment when things are, you know, going crazy. You don't want to go even more crazy with obsessing over health and nutrition because that just makes you...
It's awful. And then because you start to feel guilty when you don't wake up early to go work out. And, you know, but it's because you stayed up late finishing a proposal to send out to a client and you just couldn't wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to do whatever. Or, you know, and so then it almost like if you have that expectation of like, I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock every single day and go do my workout or like the Tone It Up girls say booty call, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to go do your booty call and you have that expectation of every single day I'm going to do it, then on the days that you don't, it like ruins your entire day. Because you're just like, oh, I'm a failure, or like, oh, I can't, you know, couldn't even make it to work out today, you know? And you're totally right that your health is absolutely very important, but the immediate need is your survival, and that, like, it's gonna take a lot of days of eating unhealthy to make it a survival risk that your health is a problem, right? But your money survival is, I mean, if you can't pay your bills, that's immediate. That's like next month you're not going to have a place to live.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like next month all of a sudden you are totally off your finance or your fitness game, you know? So it is just sort of about cutting yourself some slack and, you know, figuring out, just doing what you can, but like you said, prioritizing, like what is your real priority, not just, oh my God, everything seems like such a big priority just because I'm falling behind and everything, but like what's your immediate survival needs, and get your survival needs met, and then you can say, okay, now my next level needs, like I forget, there's a name for it that's like the hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
And like the most important one is obviously the food, shelter, you know, that sort of thing. But once that's handled, then it becomes like health and fitness and whatever, and then it becomes like your wants and not needs, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the whole point of health is taking care of yourself. That, I mean, even if you're not working out at 7 in the morning and you're not eating everything that might be healthy, I mean, keeping a steady job, keeping a roof over your head, keeping your life positive, and, you know, keeping that ball rolling, and being true to yourself and being a good person and being, you know, a good citizen of society. I mean, I think that in itself is keeping you healthy. I mean, because being stressed out, being negative, and all of that only creates problems. So, I mean, try to live the most positive life that you can, when things are hard. Just try.
Mm. So, how about if you guys have any tips, tricks, comments about my financial life, leave a comment below. We have heard from Tone It Up people that you guys are watching us, but nobody's commenting, so we don't have any sort of engagement from our audience yet. And we would really like to make sure that we are talking about things that you guys want to hear about. So let us know, even if you hate this new blog post, ideas or anything, like just give us feedback. And if you don't want to leave a comment, email us directly. Just let us know, because we know you guys are watching, but we just don't hear from you.
Yeah.
So any ideas about finances, let us know. If you like our idea about walk and learn or walk and talk, whatever we said it was, walk and talk for a networking event, let us know. And let us know, especially if you live in Austin, and we'll contact you and we'll just start one. I mean, who cares if there's one that already exists? Let's just start it, and let's all help each other with business,
But I also think that we're going to switch up our blog a little bit, so where if people want to comment and whatnot, that they don't have to create an account and sign in and go through all that.
Do they have to do that right now?
I'm pretty sure they do. I think that's why a lot of girls from Tone It Up said that they didn't, because they had to create an account. We have to look into that, and we'll see. We want it to be, effortless for you guys to interact with us.
Yeah, we want it super simple.
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
For sure. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. Yes, we would.
So if you guys have any tips and all of that to stay afloat when you guys aren't feeling afloat, let us know below.
Also, how to eat healthy when you are on a super tight budget. That's another one that I'm sure everybody wants to hear about. So
yeah, how do you eat healthy when money's tight? Let us know. I mean, it's doable.
Yes, totally.
So until next time.
All right.
Bye.